Hello everyone, and welcome to another video. My track guide for the BMW M2 going around Charlotte, the Roval layout. Let's get into it. We want to be as close to the wall here on the right side as possible. My braking marker for turn 1 is the 2-bolt here on the right. When I get to that, I go to about 50% brake pressure, easing that off all the way to the curb on the inside. Once I get to the curb, I'll start to apply the throttle again. The car is very unstable here, so we want to ease in the throttle as much as possible, letting the car walk out to the wall on the outside, of course without hitting it. Then for turn 2, we don't have to brake at all, we just have to turn in and lift a bit off the throttle. The goal is to come out about mid-track, so we could go as far left as possible before turn 3. For turn 3, it's not the best braking marker, but I tried and used the emergency road here on the left. When I get to that, I go to about 20% brake pressure, and we want to hold a bit of brake pressure all the way to the start of turn 4. We want to let the car walk out so we can easily get into turn 4, getting in on the red and white curbs on both turn 3 and 4. When we get to the curb of turn 4, we will apply the throttle again. Again, easing it in because it's easy to lose the rear here, and we can let the car walk out past the white line. Stay out here for turn 5. Do that to open up turn 5 a bit more. Through turn 5, we want to aim for the end of the blue curve. That will make it easier to brake in a straight line towards turn 6. As we get past the middle of the track for turn 5, we will start to brake, and this will hit to about 20%, easing a bit off because we have to turn in a bit more. Once we are straight, we want to increase the pressure and pretty much hold a bit of trail brake all the way to the curb on the inside of turn 6. We can carry a bit more speed than we think because we're going uphill. Once we get to the curb on the inside of turn 6, we'll start to apply the throttle again. Once again, easing it in because it is quite unstable here. Turn 7, I get all the way down to the curb, and once I get to the cones here, I'll lift off the throttle, and we don't have to brake at all for turn 8. It's all about setting turn 8 up so we can get early on the throttle and as close as we can to the wall on the inside, as we have a long time with full throttle. I had to tap the brake for this one, otherwise I would have been in the wall and that will hurt the car. But get as close as you can to the outside wall, so the car will be as straight as possible, going past the wall on the inside of turn 8. Just before we get to the inside wall of turn 8, we want to apply the throttle again. Again, we want to ease it in. It's really easy to overload the tires, but have faith, the banking will grab you. If you hit the outside wall, you went on the throttle too early. Now we want to drive the fewest meters possible to stay with the white line. If you get a better exit, this might be a good place to try and overtake, especially if you can get full alongside the car you try to overtake. But when driving alone, we want to be right up against the wall, and I brake when I get to the 3-bolt here on the right, aiming for about 80% brake pressure and holding that for a while, before easing off all the way to the curb. The first curb we will cut. Once I'm over that, I'll apply a bit of pressure again to help the car stop, to make it easier to cut the next curb as well. The car will be quite unstable, so we really want to ease in the throttle here. And we do that when we start to land off the second curb. If we get it right, we'll get really close to the wall here on the left. And we want to cut all of this down here, just to drive fewer meters. Just remember to get up on the banking again. Once again, we have quite a long time with wide open throttle, so if you get a better exit than someone else and can get full aside along them, try and overtake into the next turn. When driving alone, you want to be on the left side of the track. I brake once I get past the yellow water tanks here on the left, aiming for about 65% brake pressure and easing that off all the way to the first curb. We want to brake and stay close to the white line of the left side before we turn in and cut the red and white part of the curb. Once I get to the first curb, I'll start to apply the throttle again, and I want to cut only the red and white part again, as the blue anti-cut will make the car quite unstable. But I hit the blue anti-cut in this and you can see how it bounces around. So I recommend to just take the red and white part. And that's my lap around Charlotte Roval in the BMW of a time of 1 minute 25.8. I have more track guides for the BMW linked down below. Hopefully you found this one useful. If you did, leave a like down below, consider subscribing as well. Now for the uninterrupted hot laps.